How's it going, everybody? I just came back from seeing Guardians of the Galaxy at my local Cineplex, and I just wanted to make a quick video review. This is going to be a spoiler-free review, so don't worry about that. If you want the quick review, I'm just going to say it now. Go see this movie. This movie is fantastic. There are some small flaws, yes, but overall, I haven't seen a summer blockbuster this good in years. The cast was great. Chris Pratt and Zoe Saldana was great as Gamora. And Dave Bautista could be the next best wrestler turned actor since The Rock. Rocket Raccoon, as voiced by Bradley Cooper, was could have very easily ruined the movie. It could have very easily been a Jar Jar Binks type character. Which is often the case when you have a funny or odd character in a movie like this. But no, he pulled it off. Did a great job. He was a very likable character, as was his partner Groot, who was kind of like the Chewbacca of the film. There were, speaking of Chewbacca, there were a lot of similarities between this and Star Wars, I thought. The original Star Wars, not the crappy prequel trilogy. Yeah, it was really good. I would definitely recommend going to see it. I am glad it's doing well because Marvel Comics, or Marvel Pictures, I guess, took a big chance doing Guardians of the Galaxy, because nobody, even a lot of comic nerds, don't know who Guardians of the Galaxy are. And I was a little surprised when they were making the movie, but the second the trailer came out, I was hooked. I was like, I saw the trailer, I said, okay, I got to see this movie. I just got back and I was not disappointed. The action was great. It was very funny, but it also had some really kind of moments that pulled at your heartstrings. There was a couple of times where I felt tearing up a little bit because, yeah, it was quite kind of touching in parts. Without giving too much away, the show I went to was at 11 a.m. this morning, which is usually the show I'll go to for a big movie because it's usually not too busy, but this time the theater was packed. The audience was really engaged in the film, and most of the people stayed for the after credits scene. That's not a spoiler because you know a Marvel movie is going to have an after credits scene, and Guardians of the Galaxy had a very cool one. What else can I say about this movie? The soundtrack. The soundtrack was really strange. It was a lot of kind of pop songs from the 70s, and they did have significance to the narrative. I'm not going to say how, but you see in the trailer, Star-Lord has a little 80s Walkman that he tells one of the aliens, like, get your hands off of that thing. And you find out why it has such value to him in the music. He flies around space listening to old mixtapes from the 80s. But you find out why in the movie. I'm not going to say why here because that would be a spoiler. But there were some really good songs on the soundtrack, and there were some really cheesy songs, but they were used really well to complement the action and the comedy that was part of this film. So yeah, I'm just going to say go see this movie. I'm glad it's doing well because now Marvel is going to make more movies of this type. You know, they took a barely known franchise like Guardians of the Galaxy, and they've turned it into one of the best summer blockbusters, one of the best Marvel movies, probably the best one since the Avengers, maybe even a little better than the Avengers. But now you're going to see more comic movies following the source material, which is what us nerds have wanted since the beginning. I found comic movies have changed way too much in order to appease the massive theater-going public as opposed to the comic nerds. If you make a good enough movie and if you stay true to the source material and you make the nerds happy, the regular people are still going to go if the movie's good. And this movie was very good. I doubt a lot of the people in that theater really knew the Guardians of the Galaxy. I didn't. I was not as much as a Marvel geek I was back in the 80s and 90s and still am today. I was surprised. I didn't know who they were. I never really read the comics. And yeah. So to finish it off, I'm just going to say go see this flick. It's really good, and the more people go see it, the more money it makes, the more pictures of this quality are going to be made. So use your ticket price as kind of a vote, I guess. And until next time, we'll see you later.